State Rail's bicentennial program, Around the State in '88, was launched by the Chief Executive from the basket of the corporate hot air balloon at Warwick Farm Racecourse in December 1987. The aim of the project was to operate a program of regional celebrations focusing on major bicentennial events in regional New South Wales. To incorporate a steam train visit to major centres, enabling every country school child in New South Wales the opportunity to ride a steam train. To create a business environment receptive to State Rail's freight and passenger business. To provide the framework for ongoing communications between State Rail staff and location businesses, councils and tourist committees, etc. The first of many major State Rail steam spectaculars occurred in Newcastle on the Australia Day holiday weekend in January 1988. The celebrations included the restored steam locomotive 3801 and the bicentennial train launched earlier in the month.
Age of steam, there lived a beauty queen, roaming around the countryside. She was a traveler's dream.
The steam train program advanced enabling centres like Chatswood, East Hills, Hawkesbury River, and Shoalhaven to taste the nostalgia of steam.
Queen of all the fleet, the railway's pride and joy. To ride upon the footplate was the dream of every boy. As she went roaring by on another express run, everyone would turn their heads for 3801. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you still the best. You just keep rolling on. Far from city town, the black smoke rolling high across the Hawkesbury River to Newcastle on fire. Over the Great Divide on the Central Western Run, on the Southern Line, right on time with 3801. But your greatest feat was steaming across the nation. All the crowds would gather round at every country station. On the standard gauge, westward to the sun, across the Firth and back again with 3801. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you're still the best. You just keep rolling on. The days of the steam have been and gone, but some remember well. The big green flash as she went by had such a tale to tell. And now she's back upon the track. She just keeps rolling on. She beat the rest, she's still the best. 3801. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you're still the best. You just keep rolling on. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you're still the best. You just keep rolling on. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you're still the best. You just keep rolling on. Ah, 3801. You stood the test, you're still the best. You just keep rolling on.
Lithgow. Mudgee and Goolgong proved exciting locations for the steam train, where 2 full days of shuttles were well patronised, prior to the train's departure for the first of the Mid-North Coast and Hunter Valley spectaculars. Tari was highly successful over the Queen's birthday weekend, with 2 steam trains operating, namely 3642 and 5910, together with a hot air balloon. Kempsey received the same welcome treatment of steam trains and hot air balloon, enhanced by State Rail's pictorial marquee and history of carriage. State Rail's balloon featured prominently throughout the program and was enhanced by the appearance of the Bicentennial steam train and other refurbished steam locomotives. The Newcastle regatta was conducted on the redeveloped harbour foreshores, amid tall ships, steam trains, State Rail's hot air balloon, and excellent entertainment provided by employee music groups. Jazz Band and Chilora Junction Combo promoted State Rail on air and entertained around 60,000 people up to the beginning of the grand finale fireworks display.
It was still dark as balloonists arrived at the lawns in front of Parliament House to prepare for the morning's flight. With temperatures hovering just above freezing, the only warmth came from the gas burners, slowly inflating the huge balloons. The Heart Foundation organised 35 government and opposition parliamentarians to come along for the ride to raise money for heart health projects. Leading the ballooning adventure was the Prime Minister, who was keen to get going.
Hazel?
The family organised, it was up, up and away.
Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon?
The population of Canberra turned out in force to witness the Great Australian Balloon Gathering with representatives from across the globe. State Rail's balloon featured prominently throughout the programme and was enhanced by the appearance of the Bicentennial steam train and other refurbished steam locomotives. The magnificent Riverina district was next to receive the attentions of our steam spectacular.
3801 showed it can still hold its own even with the latest rolling stock. And today it was the smaller 5367 which steamed into town to delight the train buffs and family groups.
There has been a big crowd on the train and also just taking photographs, enjoying the sight. A lot of older people, grandparents and that. I see a lot of them carting the little children. The little children and the grandparents are the ones who are mainly attracted to the trains because the older ones remember it in the days gone by and the children have not seen them at all.
And the steam trains will be back on track in Wagga Wagga again tomorrow when the Wagga station turns on a full day of celebrations.
3801 steamed into Wagga railway station at about 4:30 today. Station staff and many of those waiting on the platform to collect passengers got into the spirit of things by wearing period costume. Passengers arriving from down south were lucky to leave the train in safety before it was swarmed by a mob of bushrangers reenacting the great train robbery. But the bullion boxes they got away with were not full of gold, rather goodies and sample bags for the young ones. And the excitement didn't stop there. Outside, the bushrangers galloped off from the station astride their trusty steeds. There were also rides in horse-drawn carriages courtesy of the Wagga Harness Club. Station Master Phil Horwell, posing as a Governor-General from 1879, arrived in a horse-drawn carriage and officially opened the station as part of the SRA's Bicentennial festivities.
We now have pleasure in declaring Wagga Wagga Railway Station officially open.
Over the next 4 days, the 3026 will pull out of the Wagga Railway Station a total of 14 times. Each time about 400 school children will be aboard. That is a recipe for breaking the sound barrier, and certainly there were plenty of screams, shrieks, laughter and chatter above the normal din associated with the steam train when it moved off this morning. The rides are part of the Bicentenary celebrations, offering the youngsters of today a feel of what train travel was like yesterday. And until Wednesday, the train will travel to the Rock twice and Junee twice daily. On Thursday, just one trip will be made each way. It's a busy schedule to meet, but when we met the train at the Rock this morning, it was clearly evident the kids had had a ball, and each and every one was just bursting with tales about the big ride.
Molly's got brown smoke. The driver has to put the car into part of the engine and that makes it go.
That's right. Well, what was your favourite thing about the train?
How fast it goes.
Did it go very fast?
Not very fast. I make the wheels go.
Hunter Valley locations, Singleton to Dungog, all participated in the Steam Spectacular programme and became a forerunner to the steam extravaganza of the Cotton Country and Northern Tablelands. Towns that long ago echoed to the thunder of steam again relived those nostalgic days. 3801 provided a much publicised spectacle when it departed on an epic bicentennial across Australia trip to Perth.
For 100 years and more, we've been carrying Australia on tracks of steel. The trains are running right across the land, from the city to the bush, from the outback to the ocean. The railway is the backbone of this great country.
Chullora Junction, Ron Russell and Ray King composed a jingle for use in depicting State Rail's future and expansion.
Hand across the land for you and me. Community caring, community sharing. Around the state in 88 to the 21st century. Fast train, fast track, city, out back. Around the state in 88 to the 21st century.
The Bicentennial and Open Day Committee designed and erected a float for inclusion in the Bathurst car races. Members of the Bathurst workshop worked non-stop in the days prior to the race to perfect the float and to ensure its quality was excellent. The float led the parade, followed by the Railway and Transport Institute brass band. Its impact on the organisers was so significant that the float received the highest award for the best visiting float in the parade of 30 units. A recent visit by the managing director of Mitsubishi Corporation enabled Chullora Junction Entertainment Group to present some real Aussie bush songs to our visitors on Sydney stations. The occasion being to welcome visitors to the 21st century Tangara train. Mitsubishi Corporation provided the electronics and know-how to Gonigans of Newcastle for the building of the train. State Rail played a key role in the Bicentennial Airshow held at Richmond Air Base. Shuttle services by rail to and from Clarendon proved highly successful, as was the spectacular balloon launch at the official opening ceremony each day.